everybody, it happened again. Target is laying off 1,000 of its employees right before the holidays, and this is what you need to know about it.
But I do think that this is interesting coming after the boycott that happened with Target because they decided to cut all of their DEI initiatives.
So is Target about to do the same thing Walmart did and replace humans with AI?
He's a longtime company executive who's getting the top job despite investors' hopes for an outsider to shake up the retailer.
Well, looks like the boycotts worked. Target laid off thousands of employees on Tuesday, all because of their own lack of initiative and lack of understanding of their audience. Let's see what others have to say.
Target is set to lay off 1,800 of their corporate baddies. Now, they're saying that the folks from the corporate office who are going to get let go will get paid through January 3rd and will also receive a severance package, but this is right before the holidays. Now, none of the store employees are going to be losing their jobs, or so they say, but I do think that this is interesting coming after the boycott that happened with Target because they decided to cut all of their DEI initiatives. Now, Target was struggling before they decided to get rid of their DEI initiatives, but they started struggling even more after Black folks and other folks decided they wasn't going up in there no more because y'all were being weird. All of this is happening and Target still has not done the most simple thing that they could possibly do to get more foot traction, which is to re-engage with their DEI initiatives and programs. It's like y'all was so quick to get rid of DEI thinking that nothing was going to come of it. And now you have the opportunity to start to rebuild trust with you all in the community, and you're doing everything but that. This is so sad for the 1,800 employees who are going to lose their jobs right before the holidays and in this current economy. No one really can afford to live, much less lose their job.
I'm going to be honest, I do think these layoffs are probably from the drop in sales from their decision to get rid of DEI. Whether or not you believe DEI should be a thing, Target positioned itself as the more liberal Walmart, right? Like when you go to Walmart, you don't expect them to have, you do not expect DEI at Walmart. I'm going to be honest. When I go to Walmart, I know exactly what I'm getting from Walmart. Whereas Target put a veil over itself and said, hey, we have all of these different, body types and we celebrate everyone at Target. It's the bougier Walmart. Of course, we're going to be more inclusive. So when you take away DEI initiatives, people are going to be kind of pissed that you lied to them for so long. Again, if you just positioned yourself as Walmart, no one would care. You wouldn't really be having these drops in sales, right? That's my personal opinion. That's what a lot of different opinions are as well. That's probably what their 10K is going to say at the end of the year as well with the drop in sales. We'll see what happens there. 1,800 people laid off. That's insane. And I think it was all corporate employees that he said, not anyone that's in the stores. Although that's probably coming too. I mean, seasonal workers during the holiday season. With all of these layoffs, and I already covered, layoffs, look at the cards above. I think the holidays are canceled. To be honest, everyone's getting laid off. No one has a job. No one can even afford to save up for an avocado toast. It's just a crappy situation all around in 2025. Cancel the holidays. That's what I'm saying. Cancel the holidays. You don't need to get another flat screen TV. Make your own gifts. Make them more special. Spend more time with your family. There is no reason to be lining Target's pockets at this point unless you're going to get household goods. We're in a recession and the first of many to come. Let's brace for impact. They just said that they were hiring, yet the CEO compensation is untouched. Well, the millions that he gets in his compensation package and probably his bonus as well. I can't even believe it. You still pay millions to a CEO, whereas you could probably keep on 10 people. Sure, 1,800 people being laid off is not going to be the equivalent of the CEO salary. I hope. I really do hope, but we'll see.
Well, y'all just gonna bankrupt Target, huh? They just laid off 1,800 corporate employees. Its first major layoff in a decade. Target has been down for a year. It was really, really struggling, but it's kind of on the upswing now. 3 months ago, it was only down 11. And as of a month ago, it's up 8%. And it's been up for a month.
So it sounds like they're getting a new CEO just as the severance packages end for the laid off employees. I mean, it is nice that they are getting paid through January, right? I think through the beginning of January. That's a wonderful severance package. It would be even more wonderful having a job throughout the holidays, but who knows? I feel bad for the employees. Yeah, imagine getting laid off you're getting laid off before the 333, right? You're getting laid off before Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Sorry, the 333, the quadruple, and New Year's Eve, New Year's. Insane. Is this due to them getting rid of their DEI program? Yes. We don't really know if it is because they got rid of DEI, but everything really started to go downhill after they cut their program. And it's not like they weren't going to still hire people of diverse backgrounds. I think they just got rid of that page in their employee handbook or something like that. But people are sending a message.
So is Target about to do the same thing Walmart did and replace humans with AI? Did the boycotts hit them that bad or both? Because they just released a statement that they plan to cut 1,800 positions. So they're firing 1,000 corporate positions, and 800 of the roles that are currently vacant will disappear. And instead of saying disappear, I wonder if they meant to say replaced by AI. They're getting a new CEO in February, Michael Fideckel. He says that things are just too complex. There's too many overlapping positions and it's slowing down their work. So I guess he took inventory of the people that aren't really needed and he's giving them the boot with severance packages though. And I'm just wondering why Target didn't just come out and say what their plan is, if that's their plan. And for right now, there's no plans to cut in-store positions, but
hopefully the people in the actual Target stores get to keep their jobs. But I just did a video about AI, and a lot of layoffs are occurring because companies are trying to cut the fat where they can and then see what positions are redundant. Like maybe if it's, payroll, you can automate that, probably accounts payable, stuff like that. You could automate more. And so we don't need those big teams. What is going to happen to people when AI takes these jobs that are automated? Maybe this was probably a conversation for now redundant jobs such as telephone operators or the elevator operators too. Like, what am I gonna do? What are we gonna do? Learn AI skills. Learn skills that are AI adjacent or that help build up AI at this point, because that's the only way I can see your job being safe. And even then, you'll probably be made redundant. Made redundant, am I Bridget? Am I British? Laid off or fired. Not the boycotts. It's places like Cali raising minimum wage so high, it's almost like people warned that raising the minimum wage leads to job losses and price increases. So don't boycott. Well, if it's with the price increases, like minimum wage going higher, corporate, they don't really pay you minimum wage at Target, I would assume. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But corporate jobs are typically like double, triple, quadruple minimum wage. I don't think that's the issue. They're not laying off people in the stores yet. That is probably to come once the new CEO comes in, or probably in January, sometime after the holidays. Feel bad for the employees. It's going to be worldwide layoffs. Recessions are hitting worldwide for the way that we handled COVID. The damages are finally coming forth, which is what we were warned about 3 years ago. We knew this would happen. It's a mess. So this one says, what our drinks look like the weekend before we find out if we're a part of the 1,800 people at our company getting laid off on Tuesday. And thankfully, it sounds like it wasn't 1,800 people, it was 1,000 people. And the 800 open positions. Cheers, girlies. Hope none of us get a Zoom invite on Tuesday. Best of luck, many blessings, and hope you come out okay. Let's actually see, did they come out okay or not? All right, so I looked through her TikToks. I can't see if she was laid off or not. I assume because she didn't say anything else, she wasn't laid off, thank goodness.
Hey everybody, it happened again. Target is laying off 1,000 of its employees right before the holidays, and this is what you need to know about it. The info that I'm talking about is coming from this AP article. About 1,000 employees that are in corporate Target are going to be receiving layoff notices, and 800 total job positions are being eliminated from those corporate roles as well. And this is about 8% of the total corporate workforce for Target. Current COO, Mike Fiddlecue, who actually is going to be taking over as CEO come February 2026, is stating that the complexity that Target has created over time is what is setting them back. I just think that it's very interesting to see when these massive companies who have been doing so well for so long, i.e. Starbucks, Target, etc., start to report declining sales quarter over quarter over quarter. The first thing that they're going to do is get rid of you, the employees. The CEOs aren't taking pay cuts, and then those 1,000 jobs are going to be dispersed to the people who are doing them right now. So the workload is increasing, and I'm gonna guarantee you that no one's pay is increasing. One bright side is that no one in the retail stores, their jobs are not being affected, and they are going to be getting paid up until the new year. Hard job market right now, very difficult to find a job, but at least people are going to be getting paid up throughout the holidays.
Yeah, we just saw that with Starbucks laying off people. It's incredible. Your quarterly sales or whatever your revenue goes down 1%, 2%, 3%, and your first thought is to get rid of employees, right? Like employees are going to make up the bulk of your expenses. And for Target's case, probably also renting or owning the buildings that they have, their actual retail stores. But it's never to like cut the packages of executives. It's never, we're all in this together, sorry to get all High School Musical on you, but where's the camaraderie? There's no loyalty that companies have to you, so why would employees have loyalty? This market is so bad. I thought last year sucked. This year is really, really, really bad. I think there's gonna be a lot of people who will no longer trust employed position. I think we're gonna see a lot more entrepreneurs or maybe gig economy workers coming up because you can't trust that you're gonna have a job next year. The job that you have, yeah, you at home have, do you think you're gonna be able to have it in the next year, next couple years, without you actively going out to look for a job? It's really devastating. They will lay off high-paid people and hire low-paid people. And by high-paid people, they don't mean the C-suite unless you really, really messed up, right? It's the people that maybe were like, oh, during my performance review, I got the highest score. Could you maybe pay me a little bit more than inflation? Yeah, those people are probably getting laid off the most. What pisses me off is that everyone boycotting Target thinks they're doing something for the greater good just because of DEI, but they couldn't care less for employees that might lose their jobs. Who goes to college for free because Target pays for it? Also, most of you guys are hypocrites because I haven't seen anyone boycott Walmart or Amazon like you do Target. Anyone of color gets hired. They just wanted to hire the more qualified. And I do understand where this commenter is coming from, but again, as I alluded to earlier in the video, is people are mostly upset that they were lied to. There is one thing I think that people absolutely hate the most, and it's being deceived. Walmart, we know sucks. We know they're probably racist, right? They're headquartered in Arkansas. Amazon, we know their figurehead, Bezos. We don't like him, but we know Amazon probably has the best deals, right? But Target doesn't even provide you with the best deals. Again, Walmart, Amazon are probably some of the cheaper places to shop. Target is bougie Walmart. It's a lot easier to put your money into Walmart knowing that, hey, they never said that they really care about diversity, equity, inclusion, but we're still gonna purchase from them. If we boycotted Amazon, that's not gonna do anything because AWS, their like data hosting services, that makes up a bulk of their profit, probably like 30–40%. You not buying toilet paper on Amazon's not gonna hurt them, but it's probably gonna hurt Target.
Explanations they gave. Interesting in this layoff. A company spokesperson said they are not laying off employees to cut costs. Their incoming CEO said, and I quote, "The complexity we've created has been holding us back. Too many layers and overlapping work have slowed decisions, making it harder to bring ideas to life." And he went on to say, "This will set the course for our company to be stronger, faster, and better positioned for the future." So they didn't acknowledge at all what has caused their company to falter, and instead are basically indicating that it's all about efficiency and effectiveness of decision making. My 2 cents is that Target got completely out of step with their consumer, and that these layoffs are really all about cutting costs to drive the bottom line. Even if they're more agile and able to make faster decisions, if they don't figure out how to get their consumers back, they are not going to win in the marketplace. At the end of the day, you can't cut your way to prosperity. They need to figure out how to grow. And they will only grow if they can find a way to win back their consumers. If they can win them back, make sure they don't piss them off again.
Yeah, I completely agree that that excuse is a cop-out. They have to get rid of the bloat of, their employees, the redundant employees, I get that. But 1,000 of them, 1,000 people were that useless to Target, creating that many inefficiencies. And it's not because your sales are dropping, because of a different factor. Boycotts work, they might as well sell the business and rebrand. No one is going back to Target. Target showed their true colors. They're dead to me. I'll never go back. I bet they'll spend $1 million for an efficiency expert to cover their story. Meanwhile, they're all over at Costco supporting their business model. They can never say, oops, we made a mistake. And they're probably gonna hire a team of like 24-year-olds from McKinsey or Deloitte to figure out what the problem is, even though genuinely you could just go on TikTok or read your numbers to figure out what the problem is. But there's just something in their brain that just can't comprehend that they made a mistake, that they actually did something wrong. And so they're gonna wanna find, well, what's the real answer to why our sales are down? Everyone's telling you why, you just don't want to hear it.
And it's coming from Target's incoming CEO, Michael Fidelki. He's a longtime company executive who's getting the top job despite investors' hopes for an outsider to shake up the retailer. Target sales have been flat or down for going on 3 years as shoppers look elsewhere for cheaper prices or more unique offerings.
That's another thing. Their prices suck. Target has some of the highest prices of retailers. Walmart, obviously, there is no place that's cheaper. Target, again, is the bougie Walmart. I don't want to pay an extra 20%, 10–20% on the same item when I could just go to Walmart, and they never pretended that they cared about diversity. Again, the thought process of Target's target consumer. If you like this video, please subscribe. I'm just under 50 subscribers, and I would really like to get to that 50 number so then we can go on to 100. So if you want to be in that first 50, subscribe. If you don't like what a company is doing, you do need to vote with your wallet. If you agree with the Target policy, keep shopping at Target. I'm not gonna hold you back. If you don't agree with it, go find a different place. For example, Costco, when Target came out with that DEI pullback, they affirmed that, hey, we will still have our DEI initiative. So those Target consumers went over to Costco. Are you gonna still shop at Target? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.